Good morning, McVeigh students. Coming to you from McVeigh today. Yeah, here at the school, and we're going to be talking about basketball today. And you all know this is a picture of our basketball hoops here. Our basketball hoops at McVeigh are low. They are low, and you can see that I can easily touch the rim with my height, and that's because these hoops are only just above 7 feet high. A regular basketball hoop is exactly 10 feet high, exactly 10 feet high on an NBA hoop or in any high school gym or college hoop. So let's talk about all these lines that are on the floor. Okay, this line underneath the basketball hoop is called the baseline of the basket. And then as we run over here, we have the sideline. It's called a sideline because it's on the side. All right, and those are your boundary lines for the perimeter of the basketball hoop. As I stand underneath the hoop, you can see we have a section here that's rectangular. This is called the lane or the paint section. And this is significant for a few reasons. Number one, if somebody is shooting baskets from the foul line, which is this line right here, okay, which is typically 15 feet away from the basket. However, here at McVeigh, it's only about 10 feet away from the basket. Typically, the foul line would be more back toward right about here, 15 feet away. And the reason someone would shoot from the foul line is because they were fouled in the act of shooting. So if I'm going to shoot a basket and somebody bumps into me or slaps my hand, that would be 2 shots for me from the foul line. Also, if a team accumulates a certain amount of fouls, depending what level of basketball you're playing, that could be anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 fouls in a half, then you would get 1 shot from the foul line, and if you make the basket, you get a second shot. If you miss, then you only get 1 shot. That's called 1-and-1. 1-and-1. If you make it, you get another one. If you miss, you don't. So if one of my teammates or the opposing team is shooting a basket from the foul line, then I would stand along this line here on the rectangle or over on the other side of the rectangle, and the opposing team would get the first spot right here. The shooting team would get the next spot, and then the opposing team would get the next spot. And there, you could fit up to 4 people along the line there, and as soon as that ball is released from the shooter's hands, the players can break to try to get the rebound first, as soon as that shot is released. Now, there are 5 players on the court at a time, so usually 1 player or sometimes even 2 players will stand well behind the shooter, and usually to guard somebody on the other team or to try to get an outlet pass quickly to break up the court. So if one team puts a player back there, usually the other team will also put a player back there. If the non-shooting team has a player back there, the other team almost has to put a player back there to defend against a quick outlet and an easy layup or dunk for the other team. So again, our foul line is usually 15 feet exactly from the basket, not on McVeigh's courts, but on a regulation court. And then this is what's called the top of the key. The top of the key, or the top of that half circle. And the top of the key starts the 3-point line, and that 3-point line on a high school hoop is just under 20 feet, about 19 feet 9 inches. And on an NBA surface, it's about 23 feet to make a three-pointer. So significantly different at the NBA level, and that extra 3 feet or so, 3+ feet, does make a big difference. This corner right here is called the elbow. Again, this rectangular area is called the lane or the paint. This particular spot right here on the corner is called the elbow. And we have another elbow over there. That's just referred to by coaches as a spot on the floor where a lot of offensive plays are run off of in that area. And then, boys and girls, the other significant part to the lane or to the paint is that you are only allowed to be in this area for 3 seconds. If you're in this area for longer than 3 seconds, then the other team will get the ball. That's a violation. And usually the referees will give you a warning. Let's go out here to half court. We have our circle, and usually to start a game there will be a jump ball, or even in the NBA to start the half there will be a jump ball here, and both teams will line up. One player from each team is allowed inside the circle. Everybody else must stay out of the circle. You do not have to be on a particular side. You could line up on any side of the circle, and the players that are assigned to jump for each team, obviously usually it's a tall player, they will be jumping facing the basket they're shooting at. And that's very important because at the beginning of the game you want to remember which side of the court you're actually shooting on, which basket. The referee will throw the ball up in the air, and that player who's jumping will try to tap it to a teammate. They'll actually usually tap it backwards and try to win the jump ball, and that's how the game starts at that particular time. A basketball court is usually somewhere between 84 and 89 feet long. Our basketball court here at McVeigh is about 51 feet long. So a much shorter court, and that's why here at McVeigh we do the 15-meter